Good. So let's do this, Dominic. You ready for the episode 10 of our client success series? So it's an exciting one because the topic is service and experience. So that's the last edit I didn't need. So service and experience. And it's also exciting because it's the last one of our first initial pass of that keynote in that success series that we're doing. So Dominic and the Drakia team, I would like to thank you very much for all the effort you've put into to those webinars we did so far. So we did 10. I know it's a lot of work, so thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. It's fun to do.
You've been the face of it, but a lot of people from the team as well have been working, especially this week with us showing the new experience. It's a community, it's the new branding of community. So Natalie has been working very hard to develop a new Drakia community so we can showcase a couple of new things that the Drakia customer will be able to benefit from in the next few weeks. Good. So like I was saying, it's our last one today in terms of the keynotes. After that, starting March 10, we're going to do a customer panel. And I'm wondering if it's really the format we want or the format you want, should I say. So I have a couple of people that could do demos, and I'm sure if I'm poking around, I could have more people. But is that really what you want? So most probably what we're going to do is either you can write us directly here in the chat window or the Q&A, but most probably we're going to send you a survey. It's on point with today's demonstration, service, and community. We're going to talk about the survey. So most probably we can send you a survey to see what you really want to see. Do you want to see other customer environment and see how they run their business? Do you prefer to see more training in depth in certain topic? And if so, please specify the topic. Or maybe you just want to see new exciting stuff or new pushing the envelope kind of webinars. Or so I'm open on March 10 in terms of what we can present there, and I'm unsure and unclear. So your feedback will be very appreciated. That's good, Dominic.
Yes, good.
March 24th, though, after on that day, we're going to really start that new in a month. We're going to start that new format of it's kind of Salesforce is doing 3 releases a year with new features. I want to do every 2 months to keep you updated with what we're doing and asking you questions about the roadmap and the direction we're taking. So every 2 months, starting March 24th, we're going to have that client showcase, which is going to be a meeting that you guys can participate. Our customer can participate, and that we're going to announce new stuff, new way of doing things, and we have an exciting roadmaps that we're planning. So I'm looking forward to March 24th for that first event. Okay, service, experience, community. The goal here is really to how can you provide the best services to your customer. So now I have to be careful with the client word and the customer word. So service is really customer facing. So it's really your customer, what you can expose to your customer. How can your customer interact with you? And how can you make it a good experience for them to interact with you and bring your business to the other level? So the question for services to see if it's something that you should get into, do you getting feedback from your customer? Are you sharing your project plan with your customer? Are they collaborating with you? Can you assign homework? Is there a sense of accountability? As you will see in the Drakia community, it's not only accountability on the customer side, but we want to put accountability on the business side, on the professional service team, to make sure we deliver on time and on budget. The feature set we have within the service module, yes, we can build community. So the client community, there's no different than the standard Salesforce community. Seriously, it's a new rebrand, the experience thing, and I'm trailing. So, but everything now, even if you're looking in your system for if you have an existing community, it's called experience. So you can build, it's a standard Salesforce experience, but you can build it for your customer, or you could build it for your contractor. So if they want to log time, and you can expose a ton of things. So project exposure would be something that you could do through community, but the client also have a free version of a project again that is read only with unique URL, but we won't be looking at this today. Okay, you've read the rest of the list. Something that we are all anxiously waiting for is the survey scheduler. Do we have some of our developer here? So make sure to listen. We're putting pressure a ton on the team, but this is going to be an amazing feature. Some of our biggest customers are also looking forward to receive this. So we're going to be able to schedule surveys to be sent out to your customer or even to your employees that you will see in a few seconds. So this should be released in the next few days, I'm hoping. Okay. The benefits, it's really collaboration, and it's really, for me, it's more and more the experience. How can we provide something, an ecosystem that is fun to work with, that is providing value to you, our customer? How can we help you grow? So today I'm going to have the hat of Drakia a lot because the demo is going to be all Drakia stuff, but the value and the core focus of Drakia is really to help professional service team to grow their business. So it's really aligned totally on you guys. So how can we have that fun interaction and that constructive interaction collaboration with our customer? It's all about that. And yes, I do believe that even more than ever, this is core of the doing business with the company. Okay. Exciting, isn't it? Yeah, Dominic,
It sure is. Yep.
You're setting back this one, right? You're happy. You're not
I'm
talking
kind of
too much.
I'm kind of a listener here. I'm kind of eager also to see the updates on the community.
Yeah, so because it's the last one, because I'm still hurt and I'm not as fast as typing, and when I'm typing, it's hurting very bad. I'm gonna wing this demo in a sense that I didn't write the script as I usually do, but with Natalie, we've been working hard on the customer experience, so I think it's gonna still make sense, but it might not be as well structured as the other one. But let's get right into it. We're gonna start with the client survey. Why are we doing it? I'm going to give you a demo and then talking about the result visibility. And after that, we're going to jump in the community. So I'm going to show you how it's linked to an account and a contact and how to log in. We're going to show you the experience of being in it as a community user. And then we're going to show the builder. Okay. Stop me anytime, Dominic.
Yep.
If there's a question as well, I won't be
I'll
looking
keep an
at
eye
it.
on. I'll keep an eye on the Q&A, and if they have any questions along the way, or as some have already done here, suggestions for the next sessions or different formats, please do. I'll keep track of that and make sure that we respond to all questions.
Perfect. Are we recording, Dominic? Can you see it?
Yes, we're recording.
Good, thanks. Okay, so I'm going to start from, so we are in Drakia's environment. Drakia is a professional service firm, so they have B2B customers. So McGill University would be one of their customer. Within that account, you can see we have invoice, client invoice, we have projects, and we do have contacts. Okay, since we're talking about survey first, I'm not going to talk about the, I'm going to come here. And the idea is that with Client, you have the opportunity of sending survey out. And today I'm going to show you a new feature that we've delivered a few weeks ago in one of the latest release. So you might not have them if you haven't updated to the latest release. That's why also I'm experimenting with those new features. So I'm very excited about this, this demo here. Here we have two buttons we're going to use. So there's send survey, and there's also something about the community we're going to look with the contact. A survey, I'm going to send one. Okay, so I'm going to start by just sending one. Let's say I want to send a customer survey because we're doing a project. I'm on the account. We can send survey now from the account. Before it was only from the project. So you have the same button on the project or the account. We've added the possibility to select a template. So an email template. Let me just maybe zoom in a little bit. So you can select an email template. You can select which contact from that account you want to send it to. In the email template, now we're also allowing for merge fields. So before it was a kind of a fix, you cannot like do anything dynamic. So now if you want to put the project name or any kind of other information related to the survey response, we're going to look at it later. You can do merge. And Nathalie, I know you're on the lines. If I'm saying anything stupid, please communicate to Dominic to set me straight. Nathalie's our expert on the survey and community. And other things. The survey we're going to use to do the testing here would be this one. So the weekly customer satisfaction survey. I'm not sure anymore. I think it's the ongoing one that I need to use, and because I've selected, I need to send it in the selected contact. So now every time I want to send that survey, I need to go to those steps. The survey scheduler we're waiting is going to be able to put another level on top. So you're going to be able to schedule it. And there's a ton of logic that goes on top, like which contact, which survey, which frequency. So exciting feature that's coming our way. Okay, so I'm going to send that survey out. Anyway, I'm going to send it. Anyway, it's not the one I want to show. And I've rebooted just before. I'm going to pause. I'm going to open up my email. Give me a sec. Thank you, Dominic. We'll be right back. Okay, so you should see it now, Dominic.
Yep.
Okay, so this is the email template. You can select the logo, and then there you can select the text. You see, this is my name of my client. I didn't show you the contact name, but the name is Mr. Client Community Experience, and I'm asking to, and I have the signature, and I'm asking for him to answer a survey. When I click on it, it's going to bring me to the survey. Again, some description here. And you have a few choice of questions. So this one is for, I'm going to talk to you about the concept of that survey afterwards, but we have star rating. You can select, is it 10, 5, or how many numbers you want. And we have a NPS, so Net Promoter Score survey that we can also use, and then a free text field. Okay, so this is the way it works in terms of the interface and the way to send it. Any question, Dominic?
No.
I'm going to show you the how it's built now. So I've used it. I can use it from a survey, from an account, or I can use it from a project. And now let me show you how it's all tied together. First, what I want to show you, it's maybe how Drakia is using it. It might give you ideas on how you want to use it internally. We use it in different, we don't use it only for customer survey, but we also use it internally. So you see here, employee satisfaction survey. We've been, last year, we're sending one every week, every Friday to see how our people were doing. A couple of weeks ago, we thought maybe every week was too frequent. And then we've talked to our team and they all said, no, weekly is good. So this is one, it's an interesting one. This is the one we're going to look in a few seconds. We're going to start doing at Drakia an ongoing weekly customer satisfaction survey. So every week we want to be, let me open up that one. So every week we'll want to send you a survey, our customer, when we have an active project to see if we're progressing correctly. So you see here in the survey that I've opened, I have survey questions. And in this case, we have 3 questions. Is the project moving at a speed you can handle? On a scales of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend? So an NPS question, Net Promoter Score, and then a free form text. So let's say you want to say, this week was terrible. We should plan another meeting. You can write whatever you want. So this would be something we'll be sending weekly. A feature request that Drakia made to client, and we're going to implement soon. It's we want to be able to engage our people, because we're going to send you our customer. We're going to send them a survey every week. When it's always the same question, at some point you don't care about it. So we want to have a rolling question. So the first one will always be on the base 10. But it's going to be a rolling question, and there's also now a new field. Pick list called category. So we're gonna be able to, like, you know by heart, Dominic? Or let me
No.
just open up
Yep.
the survey question. It's not a full training I'm doing today. It's more just kind of a demo. But here you see we have quality, schedule, budget, and performance. Those are the high level. You can add more. But this way, we're going to do every week, we're going to do a rolling question. So that one, the first one, is going to be a different question every week. But it's going to be still measuring on a base 10 and based on different categories. The other one, which is the net promoter score, which is really the value that we are measuring for our weekly matrix measurables and the EOS I was talking about, is the NPS. The other one is something we want to play around a bit more, but the other one, the NPS, is really the one that's going to drive even compensation at the end. Do we receive our bonus or not? Are we on the NPS score? Are we hitting our target? Okay. So the way it's structured, I've opened up that client survey. This is the ongoing weekly customer satisfaction survey. Natalie didn't say I was not in the good one, Dominic.
No, she said so far so good.
So far, so good.
So
Okay.
far so good.
So I have 3 questions here. I have a response. So it's all Natalie because it's still one that we're testing out. Maybe the other thing I wanted to show me before jumping in the details was the other type of survey. So we have one that we do when we do the kickoff. After the kickoff, we're sending a survey as well with a few questions. Again, let's look at them. It's interesting. Oops, I don't see it from here. Let's not look at them then. On project kickoff, on project closure, and I was also trying to do one. I think now I can do it because I did another feature request during the onboarding process. I'm all about the values culture now and trying to really identify it so we're all aligned and we're hiring people based on our value set and our culture. So I was trying out even when during the recruiting process, sending a survey before my first or second meeting to gauge rate or classifies value. So this was a test, but this is where maybe you can stretch and think of different ways to use it, not only for your customer, but also for employees or even for candidates. And I'm sure there's a ton of other way that we can also spin it, right? Okay, so let me open it up. I'm just not seeing. We're supposed to have a report, and I'm not seeing it. Just gonna refresh the page.
The graph is for employees. That's what Natalie's saying.
The employee survey. Okay, perfect. So let me go back to see the result. I'm gonna see it from the employee satisfaction survey. So from here, again, we have the survey is the same thing. I have all the questions, but you see we've put the graph and the bar chart is the record count. And the line is the on 10, it's the average. So the NPS was on 10. It's not a pure NPS at this point, but it's a 10 scale. But you can see where we're waving a different level. And then we can go individually and look at the individuals to see where it stands. So we have an overall for a feeling for employees, and we can also go look individually in terms of the response. I'm going to open up a response in a few seconds to show you how it's done. Okay, that's interesting, right? That graph. Michael, you're on the line. So if this is not included in the package, this graph is also to be included in the future release in terms of the survey. Okay, so when you're sending survey like I did before, you have it create a survey response. So the survey response, it's all the one that have been sent, and you can see the statuses. So we see Yannick has not answered the one sent on the 24th, or you can, so you can track. And now it's also a functionality, I do believe, to resend. Maybe we didn't activate the button, but if it's not now, it's going to be soon. You can resend that survey, and in that survey response, you would have the related lists. Do I have the related lists? Oh, because I didn't answer yet, right? So it was sent, it was not answered. So I could, for example, I could go back to it. I have the link as well to see the, so if I want to automate it with the process builder, I have the URL So I can just create that automation of resending it instead of going manually. And then after I've, the team is awesome. So after I've answered it, and then the response will come into the system, and you can be notified or not. And again, you can build those automation if you wanted to. And if I just refresh the tab, I have my 2 response now. So with the rating and the text. Okay. So then I can build a dashboard. There's a dashboard coming as well. So there's reports and dashboard that you can build to track the result of those. Really neat, pretty cool feature.
Yeah, time check, Yannick, 20 minutes in. So if you eventually want to switch to community.
Yes, let me just check the agenda for this one. Creation reports. I think we're good. Okay. Let's switch now to the community experience then. I was pretty much done on the survey.
If you have any questions for the surveys at this point, you can send them in Q&A. If we have time at the end, we'll circle back to that. If there's any details you'd like to go back on.
Yep. So let me close this out. So now we're going to talk about community or experience. So giving access to your customer. At this point, we're going to look at the customer. So the customer, like I said, is McGill University. Within McGill University, we have a few contacts. We just sent a customer survey to Client Community Experience. It's not the greatest name, but that's our guy. So if I'm and as you saw, there's a project associated. There's some invoice associated to it. So if I'm opening up is contact, when you have a community set up, so you need to have Drakea set you up for implementing a community or an experience, a customer experience, but you're gonna have buttons here. So in the case of Mr. Client here, he's already a community user. So we can view his user, we can disable it, or we can log in as him. If he would not be, if he was a fresh contact and I wanted to add him as a community user, you would have a button here called add as a customer, enable experience user, I guess they said that. So you have enable here. So what we're going to do from here is that we're going to just go in and we're going to log in as Mr. Client community. And this is our new one. We've developed it in the last week, and we're trying a couple of things. The idea is to really engage with our customer on a one-to-one basis. This is not a customer community where there's a ton of collaboration between customers. We're going to see there's some aspect of it, but it's really project-oriented. So Drakea is there to grow your business, right? So how can we help you grow your business? So this is the home page when you're going to land in our new community. On the left, you have a feed. So our latest communication, as you can see, Drakea is sending a BSU, so budget status update every week by email and also by within the community. So here we have a trace of that. So we're on budget on this one. So we're forecasting to be only 2% over budget. We can see also that Natalie did a book review. I'm going to talk about the book club, but this is something we decided to expose to our customer. So let me talk about it when we get there. So we have the feel, and then you have all the collaboration that can happen as well on the task, on the project. So you're going to have one main feed that's going to have all that collaboration for your entire company. At this point, if you have 5 users, it's company based. So there's going to be some visibility, mainly in terms of some of the details, but for now, it's everybody in the same account would see pretty much everything.
The hierarchy concept is available on their community also. You can have up to 3 levels where you can have people seeing everyone's project and some of them only seeing their own. So, and also for invoicing and metrics, maybe dollar signs, you can have that managed in a community. So that can be considered based on profiles.
Exactly. So for example, we're going to look at the right side, but if you look at the bottom here, there's invoices. So for us, at least there's going to be at least 2 types of profile with access to invoices or without. meaning that you could not see that values of the invoice or invoice altogether if you don't have that permission set or profile. Okay. So what we're trying to do at Drakia, it's we're really trying to help us grow our customer. It's really the way we implement, and we know that if we put a good cadence, and if we act, and if we move every week, we know that this is a way that we have the most success. So we're putting a lot of emphasis lately on planning, and we want to plan big chunk of hours for our customer. On a, let's say on Tuesday I'm going to work on customer X, on Wednesday I'm going to work on customer Y. So everybody, we need to plan and to put pressure internally, but also to give you, our customer, a way of putting pressure on us. We want to show you our plan hours. So I'm logging as a customer, right? I'm a Mr. at working at McGill University. We're implementing a project management system. I want that to be up and running as fast as we can. And now I can see the next 5 week. We decided with a 5 week window of how many hours are we planning to work on your project specifically. So you can see that, oh, there's an anomaly here, but since we're picking up after, most probably it's good. But what you would didn't want to see if we're implementing a new project would be to get kind of a flat line. So this is going to provide information to our customer in terms of where we stand in terms of planning, to make sure that we're booking time to work on your project, and that you know that we are going to work on your project. So you should be ready for my Tuesday morning when I'm going to start my computer and I'm going to focus the entire day on you, my customer. You should have sent me my question the Monday morning or the Monday afternoon so I can really work on it on Tuesday. So that's the concept here. We're going to put a lot of emphasis on that. Interesting. Dominic, it's first time you're seeing a
Yeah,
project.
first time I see it since we talked about it earlier. So it's just kudos to Natalie on this one.
Do you
It looks
like it?
very
Do you think
nice.
is there
Yeah,
some
yeah,
purpose value here?
yeah, yeah. I like that. I like what I see.
Okay, then this is the details. So it's pretty much a related list of the account, and you can decide what. In our case, we decided what you want to show, but the different project we'll be working on with our customer. We have a new set of indicators here: scope, time, and budget, and those are all triggered independently, but they were shown nicely here. We have upcoming milestone. I think this one is kind of key. The order should be the opposite, but you can really know when you're going to be able to go live or you're training, and the upcoming milestone. This is not the completed one, but then you past due milestone would also show here, right? The risk, if you guys are using risk, and we're going to start more and more using risk, so they're going to be shown. Issues or cases, if you're using Service Cloud of Salesforce, cases would be here. Issues at another level, usually in terms of a project management, so we also use cases.
Yeah, just an example issues, Drake. We use it when we are logging maybe a case to client on your behalf, maybe within our implementation project. We're tracking it as issues, and we log to our case number also with clients. So we're able to refer within the project to the different cases we have open for you. So
And then we don't have the new button yet here, but we're going to also allow our customer to manage their contact and who should see what. So we're going to for now, we're provisioning the licenses for our customers. So, but eventually we're going to provision a few at the beginning of the project. But let's say you want to add accounting later on, you're going to be able to add it. And like I said, you can also have access to your invoice. Okay, so this is the home page. I think this, from what we had before, which was really more crowded and a ton of information, I think we're coming in. This is our second or third version of community. I think it's our third one. So
yeah.
I think we're nailing down more and more what is important. Okay, gonna time check. Time still half an hour. We're
Half an
good.
hour. Yeah.
Perfect. So wanna just show out a couple of things before I jump in the project itself. Is the menu here. So we have home, which is what we're looking at. We have my work. So I don't think my work is, I don't think I have any task assigned, but here we have the board, the Kanban board for, so if you're assigning tasks to your customer, don't look into it, Dominic. I think it's not, we're still in development. Let's put it this way.
Okay.
So we could have you would have the cards that you assign homework. So this is the my work of the customer, right? So I think when I'm switching to the different view, you're going to be able to see the due date view. I think I see my task. So here, fill the matrix. This is the task that's been assigned to me. And so I can even open it up and I can put the information. I don't think we need to clean this up, but you could even log time. So if it was a contractor community and not a customer community, your people could log time into it. Okay, so the my work will be good when you want to assign and put responsibility to your customer. Okay, so like I said, it's not live yet. We're working on it, and we have two other objects that we're exposing: book club and learn and grow. I said that this is really the view we're looking at. The home is really the project because we want to deliver value. And for us, I think we're putting a lot of emphasis on growth. So one of our core value at Drakea is we cultivate a growth mindset. And for that, one of the things that every employee receive when they are hired is pretty much a lifetime subscription on Audible. So one book every month. And we do encourage our employees to listen to as many books as they can. And we do have a book club. So let me open up. I'm going to come back to the project later. So let me open up the book club. We decided to show that with our customers. So to show, not show, to partager, share.
Share.
Yeah, share our interested reading to our customer. So you can see here we're going to have also a feed. So we're going to see all the new stuff that's happening on the book club itself. But after that, we have all our recommendation here of book that we've read. So for example, Dominic has read this one here, Measure What Matter. So we created a custom object called book in Salesforce. And so this is not client, right? This is more kind of what you can stretch the envelope on what you can do with community. But we have book here, and we have another object called book reviews. Where Dominic has reviewed the book and has specified his own rating. So does he recommend? And we do have a star rating showing at another level. So the book club would be exposed. We will also have a learn and grow section. So more kind of the knowledge side of things. So knowledge, so how to. So for example, we have here in the Salesforce Essentials series, in the execution category, how to list view. So this would be documentation when we're implementing that. Maybe your engagement lead will send you to that link here within our community, and this is a power tool that the list view. So it's showing you how to master it. So you have it in text here on the right with screenshot, and it's as in detail as possible. And even here on the left, you have a video that we've done in with the beautiful face of an engagement lead on the bottom right. And this is pretty cool. I love that component because you can even put it picture in picture, so you can do both at the same time. So we have that learning growth. Again, this is not still part of the client objects. Maybe this is, if there is a lot of interest into that object, Drakea can hook you up. Eventually, maybe it could come up in the roadmap of client as well. But that's the thinking here. So the point is that a community, it's more than invoices and cases. So it's to try to, if you want people to come into your community, you need to build something around it. So there needs to be an experience around it. So the branding makes sense. It needs to be an experience. So for us, we're trying out. So you don't have the perfect recipe without trying. So book club and learn and grow and the feed is the way that we're trying it out at Drakea.
Can you expose again? What other objects can we expose
Okay,
from
let's
client?
now jump into client stuff. So this was the non-client stuff beside that page here. So let me click on the project itself. So the project, we can share and expose any information we want. Here, for example, we have the high level, but you could have the hours, so estimated task schedules, and then you could have even the financials, invoice amount, number of billable hours done. Again, there's a chatter feed. So if you want to collaborate, let's say with your engagement lead, pretty sure I can reach you from here, Dominic. So let's say, Dominic, I want to talk to you. I would say, Dom, what has been done? It's not that great. Can you fix? So this is the way we want our customer to collaborate with us. And then Dominic within Salesforce can just come in and answer, and we're gonna have the that conversation based on our project, right? So you guys should know at this point that Chatter is the perfect tools for collaboration because it's contextual. So it's within the project that we're looking at it. Okay. And we are exposing project data here. So you can see we have all the project assignments that are within, so you can know your product team, so your project team. So you can also know how many hours has been assigned, which role they're going to play. So François Pierre is going to be the support consultant. Nathalie is the engagement lead. We have the client community guy, which is the customer, and Denis, which is the solution admin. We're going to look at the task in a different way, but again, it's all the related associated with the chatter post, like we're saying. And that's it for kind of the detail page. To come to your, and you could put like link to other stuff, right? So if you have an implementation matrix on Google Doc that your customer need to fill, you can link out things from the community as well. And then you can expose, that's a beautiful, the beauty of that community with Client is that you can expose some of the UI that you are using internally to your customer. So here we have the Gantt that we're exposing. And it's the full Gantt with the different task filters. So if you just want to see the active task, if you guys are looking at sprint or maybe just the milestone task, he's going to be able to do it. But it's a read-only Gantt. You cannot edit it. So it's a read-only Gantt. So meaning that you can view it, but not edit it. While the My Work section would be tasks that most probably, depending on your setting again, you could edit some of the fields. Okay. So this is very useful to be able to share and expose the Gantt on top of the some of the related lists of the system.
This is where also we could have when you're talking about a contractor community eventually. That I'm trying to burn your scoops there, but
No,
you
go
could
ahead.
have my timesheets obviously there. So for some contractors, you want them to interact on the project somehow. If it's just to log time and know what they should be working on, so it could be customer, but it could also be contractor eventually, and spin my timesheet there, and they log in and put their timesheet.
Exactly. So this is really a customer community. So we don't have that My Timesheet tab, but we could add it, or we could have a separate community to handle it. Thanks, Dominic. As you can see, he answered my chatter post.
And then
He's
just
looking into it.
as a side comment on this one, I responded directly from my email. So I did receive an email so that I had to mention that I had to receive the chatter. And what I did is I replied directly on that email, and then it came back to the community. So in some cases, if you're having a mix, you can reply back by email, and it's showing on the community directly. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's another powerful tool, chatter. If you're not using it, you should. I think I'm missing something. I'm gonna look at Natalie, but the invoice, I don't think we'll look at the page layout, but again, we can expose it. We can even expose the different files. So if you have the PDF of the invoice, it can be there. Again, that chatter post, and this would be private, right? You would need to have the permission to see invoices, and then the chatter you would make on the invoice would be just between you and either the accounting. So Ariane is doing the accounting, so either Ariane would be the person you would interact with, but only the permission set assigned to your accounting people would see it. So that's the beauty again of the community. Maybe I should set straight that community, it's available for client, but you need to implement it. So it's not something, surveys, you just need to enable it and do a couple of add your question and it's done. Community, there is some groundwork and implementation to be done by an implementation partner or by somebody knowing what community are to be able to build it. So out of the box, it's not that. You have the capacity though to do all this, but it's not, this is Drake spin on a community, right?
And then there would be license that are required. So community members or community login plus licenses that needs to be added on top. Though it's a lot cheaper than a platform license. but still you need to have some kind of license there to have your users logging in there.
Yeah, and to be able to expose client data to those users. Yeah,
Yep.
you're right. Okay. Other than that, is there anything else?
Yeah, you
Any
said it.
questions?
Reports dashboard can be exposed, so that you could have a page which is more just dashboards and then reports, with even more there. So yeah, very flexible. There's more branding that can be done, so that if you have some web program and other people that are more into marketing, designing, there's layers that you can add on top to brand it even more. Um, so we keep it very simple here at Drakia, but you could make it even more graphical and
Yep. So, and that's one thing. I'm still they're investing a lot, right? And we're still just using the out of the box component and branding at this point and teaming. And there's not a ton of control on community. This is a Salesforce thing. It's not as much a client thing. So, in terms of branding, there's not a ton of control with the standard drag and drop, but you can do all the CSS you want. So you can really do a full design. So for us, again, this is the concept. Now we will need to put our graphic artists and our media guys at work to
artwork. Yeah.
provide us that other layer. Uh,
Just a question as you're going, I guess, to the builder. There was a question as far as who do we contact, and it's funny who's asking it. Who do we contact to get community licenses? Um,
is it Ralph who's asking
is
it?
it Ralph? Is that Ralph is asking? So we would contact Ralph to go and have some community license. So Ralph at Client would be the one you want to talk to, and see what is the best kind of portfolio of license you need. So depending on the usage you want to do, the behaviors of those users that will log in, is that once a month? Is that just a few times or really intense? Then we can have kind of a pool of different type of licenses for you to assign to your users. So yes, Ralph Lapenta
It's just
from
Ralph
Client.
at client.com.
Ralph at client.com.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the sales pitch. So this is the old, not old because it's still the current one, but this is the current Drake, yeah, portal community or experience. And you can see we're mentioned dashboard. So this one did expose a dashboard. So you can see a project overview and you can see information to it. And there's things that I didn't mention the other day. Here you see you have on every dashboard, you have a button where you can do a chatter post.
Maximize your window, Yannick.
Yeah. So there's you can do a chatter post here directly from a dashboard. And when I was talking about invoicing, or even when I was talking about timesheet and accountability, this is my one of my preferred way of saying to people, hey, what's happening on this project, or how come we're over budget, or where's your timesheet? I do it directly from a dashboard. So because this is where I see it, for it's the easiest way for me to do it, but also for the person I'm at mention it, you can come to the dashboard and see exactly what I'm talking about. So that little chatter window here, I think you need to enable it, but calibrate on the dashboard feed. It's really, really useful in that regard. Okay, the builder, and there's other type of community. So the client community, as you've seen it, we're using other product like knowledge, where we're exposing articles. So there's more. There's a lot to be done on community and experience. So
Yeah,
if
especially
there's
if you
if
bring in cases and these type of things, there's a lot of
so if
possibilities.
you have more questions, we can do another full session on it. But let me jump to the builder at this point. Gonna pause again. Bear with me, Dominic. Don't you have a song or something?
Yeah, that
Oh,
now that you've put me up, I can't.
a whistle. You're good at whistling. Yeah, coming. Set up. Okay, share the screen. So in setup now, as we were mentioning, it's rebranded to experience. So digital experience, and then you go to all sites. So we have that V2 we're working on. So there's two things, workspace and builder. We're just going to cover the builder today. So I just want to show you, this is more technical. Now that you saw how the page look like, it's how we build it. And you will see it's pretty much the same as editing a Lightning page in Salesforce and Client. So it's there's different component, there's different stuff to it, but it's not that complex. So yeah, I don't like what I'm seeing here. So give me a sec. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show the
Yeah, because
builder.
you have admin rights so that you see
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. So I don't think I'm going to be able to show the admin, but let me just maybe take a screenshot.
And do your blur
Yeah,
magic.
I didn't think of that before. I'm sorry. Still need to edit the screenshot. Blur.
If there's anything specific, as again, we just remind you that if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, cover on either surveys or community and maybe other stuff you're thinking that you might want to expose eventually, feel free to go and ask some questions. We still have a good 15 minutes, so we'll have time to answer any of those questions.
So the community builder, you see, I took a screenshot. You see here, this is the page behind. So when I click on it, it's the same as a page. You have component and details you can edit. And then you have on the left side, you have components. And then you can just drag and drop those components in the page. So there's different kind of page that can be exposed. So you can have object pages, or you can have a more kind of a generic page. Like the home page for us, it's more a generic page where we dropped list views. So the bottom part that we were seeing at the bottom, there are list views. So there's one component called list view. The other one is called here the chatter. So the feed here that we've put. You see here sheets, time sheets. I was
Good.
asking the team time sheets. So it's the community itself. It's pretty easy to build. It's really more in terms of what are you trying to do, and is it just transactional, and you just need a place for them to see it if they need it, because contractually they need to have a portal. So sometimes when you sign a contract with big company, you need to have those kind of audit or capacity, or is it because you really want to drive the experience with the relationship you have with your customer, like Drake is doing, like building that long-term relationship with collaborating on books reviews and talking and really working directly with your engagement lead because he's part of your team. So you need to really define the experience prior to the tool. The tool is, I wouldn't say simple, but yeah, the possibility are pretty much
Very
endless.
flexible. Yeah.
Good. So if there's nothing else, then we're gonna all gain 12 minutes into our day.
To do an extra coffee.
Awesome. So we're gonna circle back with you and send you a survey for the most probably early next week in terms of what we should do for March 10. Should I find customer, or should I'm gonna also ask if you want to present, if you want to do that panel stuff. I do believe it's a great idea to have customer sharing. I love what Tim has done so far, what Exlibris has done. I know Quartus and APR and Quartus wanted to show some stuff as well. So Drakia has shown SuperTech. Um, if you find that useful, we'll do it again. But if nobody want to step forward, then we can find something else. Otherwise, we're going to resume in March 24th with the product client keynote.
Excellent. There was one comment there that at the beginning when you we first asked us maybe what could be covered, and we could circle back based on the survey. But there was something about the payment receipts and then kind of completing the invoicing process that we might not have covered, and also future release of QuickBook eventual further capabilities for the sync. So that was one of
For
the
QuickBook payments, is that pretty much the
yeah, QuickBook, and how do we do the payments and on an invoices and track those and the capabilities, extended capabilities when they come out with QuickBook. So
okay. So yeah, we can definitely cover that. I'm not set up to show it now, but we can definitely cover that
yeah, as
at a later
an
time.
idea for a next session eventually.
Um, And we're also have on our roadmap to improve that bridge with QuickBook to sync the payment, because now it push payments. If you record the payments in Client, it's going to push it to QuickBooks. But since QuickBooks are linked to your bank account, you receive already your payments in your bank account. So we need to bring those back in Client. So this is a feature request that some of our customers have made, and Drake has as a request as well. So this is on the roadmap. But yeah, we could cover that.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. We've done that to try to teach, educate, show. We love to help you to learn the platform and to be aware of all the capacity. We've branded it at the beginning, the art of the possible. So we want to be on the edge all the time. So if you like that kind of series, we are happy to do more. Just let us know. We're looking for your feedback.
Thank you, Yannick, for putting this up. That was a very pleasant experience, and we'll see
It's
where we can
stressful
go. But yeah,
sometime, but definitely fun.
we almost practiced our acting and our scenarios, so that's
Exactly.
yeah, it's a good experience. Thank you for
Up
that.
to today, where we just wing it. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you,
Thanks.
everybody, for watching. See you
Hey,
soon.
bye.
Bye.